This guy is going to fuck me up. Unless he falls and dies. In which case, he's not going to fuck me up. I should not have done that! Hey everybody, I'm Austin J, and welcome back to more Fortnite. So I dropped 100 times at Junction, and this is how it went. I'm dead. Toro. No, I didn't die now. That's so...
Leroy Jenkins.
What? Fuck, man. I'm dead. God. What? Just... Yes! Let's go! Fucking work! No, I didn't die now. That's so...
Leroy Jenkins.
What? Stop it! 2. I'm dead. No!
Leroy Jenkins.
What? Fuck, man. Just... Yes! Let's go! Fucking work! I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, God. What? Stop it! I'm dead.
Toro.
Just... Yes! Let's go! Fucking work! I'm dead.
Toro.
No, I didn't die now. That's so...
Leroy Jenkins.
What? Fuck, man. What? Fuck, man. I'm dead. I'm dead.
Toro.
No, I didn't die now. That's so...
I'm dead. Toro.
No, I didn't die now. That's so...
Leroy Jenkins.
What? Fuck, man. Oh, God. What? Stop it. What? Fuck, man. What? Fuck, man. I'm dead.
I'm dead. Toro.
No, I didn't die now. That's so... Fuck, man. Just... Yes! Let's go! Fucking work! I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, God. What? Stop it!
I'm dead. Toro.
Just... Yes! Let's go! Fucking work!
I'm dead. Toro. I'm dead. Toro.
No, I didn't die now. That's so... Alright, so getting into the nitty-gritty, overall, this was an interesting experiment for me. I know I'm not the first person to do this, but I'm the first person, as far as I know, to use Junction for this type of thing. And it seemed like I did a very good job of getting looted up, but it took me way too long to loot, which I think is the biggest problem with a named location that's so far from the interior of the map. Even when the circle landed on Junction, and even when the bus started in over Junction, I very, very rarely ran into someone there. And even when I did, they were almost always defaults, and they were almost always terrible. Which just made it feel less like Fortnite. And definitely, overall, I had much longer games than I'm used to. I had a lot of games that went 20 plus minutes, and a lot of those games I ended up losing because I spent so little of the game fighting and so much of the game looting that I just wasn't ready to fight anyone. And it just sort of throws everything off because it changes, for me, it changes the dynamic of the game. Because you go from just looting and casualness to all of a sudden there's people and you have to fight them. And I also seem to constantly run into people that were a little bit behind me when I rotated. Either they were rotating in from Snobby Shores or they were rotating in from Anarchy Acres, and I was just a little bit ahead of them and hadn't planned on them being there, and then I would die that way. And it's sort of infuriating to have that happen. But I definitely want to try this again. I had a lot of fun doing it, just because it was interesting to always be in the same place. But I definitely don't think I would go with 100 games. It's a lot. It's a lot of games, and it sort of becomes less fun and more of a grind to always be at the same place. I got my loot circle down pretty quickly, and then it was just sort of, it becomes like a robotic thing where I land in the same spot and then I just loot in the circle that I had planned out and try to do it as quickly as possible. It still usually took me about 2 minutes to loot, which I think is too long because, especially with Junction, you almost never get the circle, which means you have less time to run. And for half of this, shopping carts were out of the game. I made a video a little while ago about Junction, talking about why I thought it was a great loot spot. And part of that was that there are 4 shopping cart spawns just within Junction itself. And that made it a great spot to get a bunch of loot, to get a bunch of materials, and then get to the circle very quickly. And without those shopping carts, it's like you're on an island. It's too far away from pretty much everything else. Even when the circle lands on Junction, there's very rarely anyone around. So I kind of spent so much time trying to figure out what the right rotation was that I never really had a good amount of fights to get into, which just, for me, it throws everything off. It made it not the kind of games that I wanted to play. I like to jump from the bus very early and try to get in fights right away because I think that makes the game feel more exciting, and it also is just nice to get kills early on, which was not really something that I found jumping at Junction. I had a lot of games where it was at the end of the bus, or the bus for some reason would go horizontal across like the bottom of the map over Salty, so that I'm flying 3/4 of the map away and no one's around. And then of course running 3/4 of the map to get to the circle. It just, for me, it was not what I expected it to be. I don't know if people just don't drop at Junction or what the problem is, but it just seemed like anytime, even when the conditions were perfect, where there should have been a bunch of people at Junction, there just wasn't anybody there. And I think the biggest problem with that is how close it is to Pleasant Park. People will go to Pleasant Park over Junction because it's closer to the interior of the map. There's more loot. There's better fight situations than in Junction. So I think that had a lot to do with it. But overall, like I said, it was an interesting thing to do. I definitely will try to do something like this again. I think I might do like weapon challenges where I go a certain number of games without picking up a certain weapon. I think that would be kind of an interesting thing to do. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, punch that like button, like Mike Tyson, and I will catch you guys in the next one.